You know that feeling, right? The constant pings, the pressure, just the chaos of the modern workplace. We're always told to grab the newest app or try some new productivity system. But what if I told you the best tools for handling today's stress aren't new at all? What if they're actually thousands of years old? Well, today, we're cracking open an ancient toolkit from Taoist wisdom to find some serious calm in our crazy, high-pressure world. Okay, so first things first, let's just be real about the problem we're all facing. This feeling of being completely overwhelmed, it isn't just you. It's not in your head. It's a massive collective experience, and the data shows we are absolutely living in an age of anxiety. Just look at this number. In a single year in Taiwan, 1.21 million people were prescribed antidepressants. Let that sink in for a second. And get this, that number jumped by over 23% in just 5 years. This is so much more than a statistic. It's a flashing red light signaling that a whole lot of us are feeling buried. There's even a name for this feeling. Some are calling it the weary generation, and it's marked by this sense of just being adrift. Kind of lost in a world of constant change, low pay, and this anxiety that's always buzzing in the background. It's that feeling like you're on a treadmill. You're running as fast as you can, but you have no idea if you're actually getting anywhere. Sound familiar? Professor Taming from National Taiwan University just nails it with this quote. He points out that when everything on the outside feels so shaky and uncertain, we naturally start looking for an anchor on the inside. We start craving some kind of real wisdom to ground us, to remind us what actually matters. So where do we find this wisdom? Well, here's the twist. The answer isn't in some new age self-help book. It actually comes from a time of unbelievable chaos and change that looks surprisingly like our own world. China's Warring States period, over 2,000 years ago. And check out the parallels here, they're kind of wild. They had constant warfare, we have rapid constant change. They had unstable lives where survival was at risk, we have job insecurity. They had shifting alliances, we have information overload. It's the same deep human stress, just wearing a different outfit. And that's what makes their solutions so incredibly useful for us right now. And right in the middle of all that ancient chaos lived these two incredible philosophers, Lao Tzu and Zhuangzi. They looked at all the turmoil out there and basically said, you know what? Trying to control the world is a losing game. So they turned their focus inward. They became masters of navigating chaos, not by changing the world, but by changing themselves. So let's get into their toolkit. Their first and maybe most important tool is all about building an unshakable inner core. Think of it like creating a calm, quiet place inside you that the chaos of the outside world just can't penetrate. They called this idea Shu Jing, which we can translate as inner stillness. Now, this isn't about hiding from your problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about creating this clear, peaceful space inside your own mind, even when a hurricane of deadlines and demands is swirling all around you. Zhuangzi's advice on this was so simple, but so powerful. He said, attend to your own heart. Basically, he argued that your number one job isn't your 9 to 5. It's not pleasing your boss or hitting some external target. Your most important primary task is to take care of your own inner world, period. And here's why that's such a game changer. This inner stillness isn't passive. It's an active shield for your mind. It gives you this incredible ability to observe all the stress, the deadlines, the difficult conversations, the pressure, without being totally consumed by it. You can see it, you can acknowledge it, but you don't have to let it become you. Okay, so you've got this inner calm, which is great, but you still have to show up to work and get things done, right? So how do you actually act in the world? Well, this brings us to their second big tool, a concept that is super powerful, but also really widely misunderstood. So, have you ever heard of Wu Wei? A lot of people hear that term and they immediately think it means being lazy, or passive, or just kind of giving up. But come on, does that really sound like advice from people who were experts at navigating chaos? Yeah, not even close. The reality is so much more interesting. Wu Wei isn't about inaction, it's about effortless action. You know that feeling when you're completely in the zone? When you're just flowing with a task and it doesn't feel like work? That's Wu Wei. It's what happens when you remove all the mental friction, the ego, the anxiety, the overthinking, and all that's left is just pure effective action. And the engine that powers this state of flow is a principle they called danbua, or detachment. Now hold on, this does not mean you stop caring or become a robot. It means you free yourself from that obsessive, desperate need for a specific outcome or for a promotion or for someone to pat you on the back. You learn to do the work simply for the sake of doing the work. All right, so let's tie this all together. How do inner stillness and effortless action combine? Well, the ultimate goal here isn't just to manage stress. It's to learn how to thrive by finding your natural flow, by moving in harmony with the way things actually are, instead of constantly fighting for how you wish they would be. Laozi's whole philosophy can be boiled down to this one incredible idea, Dao Fa Ziran, which means the great way, the Tao, just follows nature. The best example is water. Think about a river hitting a huge boulder. It doesn't waste all its energy trying to smash right through it. No, it just flows around it. It adapts, and it keeps moving. True effectiveness in work and in life comes from that exact same principle. So how do we actually do this when a project blows up or you get some tough feedback? It's a simple 3-step process. First, just observe. Don't immediately label the situation good or bad. Just see it for what it is. Second, let go. Let go of your rigid plan for how things were supposed to turn out. And finally, step 3, act. Respond with flexibility to the reality that's right in front of you, not the fantasy you had in your head. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Our whole culture screams at us to hustle harder, push more, and fight against the current. But this ancient wisdom asks a totally different and maybe more powerful question. In a world that rewards constant striving, what could you really achieve in your work and in your life? Not by forcing things, but by mastering the powerful art of letting go.